My name is Sergey, I am from Russia.
And Sergey says that he thinks this is a very good organized tournament, a very experienced tournament director in Thomas Kremser. The first time they've had so many participants in Russia, and there's over 100 players. Really, in the beginning, he was not a very good poker player, but in Russia there are well-known players like Sasha Krowinsky. And Russians learn very fast, he says, because Russians are people who are always playing cards. St. Petersburg is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. I like very much seeing the sights, the museums, the cathedral. I feel very proud of my city. And of course, Sergey is also proud of the shops. He says one of the most beautiful shops in the city is this, the Lysif shop. Here you can find all different products on display, but for sure you're more interested in the caviar, red and black. And Sergey fancies himself an expert in caviar. I'm not sure you can pay for caviar in chips in St. Petersburg, but now the chips are on the table, the sunglasses are on, and it's the 13th hand. First to speak, Nikolai Losev, who's taken the last two hands, but he folds this one. Sergey Feklisov, suited Jack-8. Sergey Pevsner, the short stack. He's got to make a move relatively soon. The longer he waits, the tougher it gets, but he folds this one. Now on the button is David Rudling with an ace-deuce. And I don't know, good position on the button.
Yeah, I think he feels it's not strong enough because the sun goes at the top of him. He won't be happy with the situation, but I reckon he should have made the play over there.
Mark Vronsky with a 10-6 calls. Checker bet for Peter Rus, and he checks, so we'll see another two-way flop. Three-five queen on the flop, so a pair of fives for Peter Rus. He puts. I think that was a fold from Mark Vronsky. Before Peter Rus could even get his bet, he was asking what the minimum bet was, and Mark Vronsky folded anyway. So I think he could have read something into that, but didn't bother to. A little bit of humor from Mark Vronsky. This is the 14th hand at the partypoker.com St. Petersburg Open. Mike Carlson with Mel Judah. First to speak, Sergey Feklisov wastes no time in binning those.
I think Sergey's going to go all in.
Sergey Pevsner with the pocket fours has gone all in, 31,900. David Rudling now folding, and Mark Vronsky with another chance to eliminate a straggler. Vronsky, the leader, taking a good long look at that stack.
Oh, ace-jack.
And he's going to call.
Yeah.
The chip leader's going to call with a chance to eliminate one player.
Well, there's still Peter Rus to act.
And
well,
he's not going to act on those.
That.
And so finally now, Nikolai Losev, who's worked himself up from the bottom into 5th place. And a Dolly Parton, 9-5. He's gone. So again, it's all or nothing for Sergey Pevsner in the second seat. And Mark Vronsky, the two oldest players at the table, going head-to-head, the chip leader against the short stack. And that's the difficulty in a tournament like this. When you enter the final table short stacked, you know you have to get all your chips in sooner or later. And the sooner you can do it, the better. Not much off a coin toss here.
No. Ace-jack of spades.
And well, it's all almost all over
Actually, it
there.
doesn't make any difference. He's still got to hit a 4,
Yeah.
even if you've just flopped one jack. So he has to hit a 4 to win.
More than that, because he's got a set of jacks.
Still needs a 4. That's it.
And there it is. We've lost our first player on the 14th hand. Sergei Pevsner from St. Petersburg, a local player, is gone, and he's been eliminated by the chip leader, Mark Vronsky. And Sergei explains that nothing much was happening. He hadn't had good cards. And of course, he had to do something. On the last hand, he just felt he had to go all in at some point, and pocket 4s was good enough. He got beat, but he's ready to fight next time.
Feel the love, feel the love, feel the love.
So we've lost our first player. Sergei Pevsner of Russia is out. He finishes in 6th of the 6 at the final table. He takes home $12,700 US as his prize. The penalty of being short stacked. And what that means, because he was knocked out by Mark Vronsky, is Mark Vronsky is now over 250,000 in chips, firmly in the lead. And the new short stack is David Rudling, who you see sitting now second from the left, as Sergei Feklisov has moved over 1 seat to replace Sergei Pevsner. Blinds are still at the first level, or the 14th level if you count the qualifying games. And now folding around to Peter Russ with the ace-9 suited. 7-9 suited is folded. And in the big blind, Queen 4. Sergei having a think about that. And Sergei folds. Peter Vlasenko takes that hand, and we'll take in a player's secrets with Johnny Vincent.
Hi, my name's Johnny Vincent. I'm a poker player from Australia. And I'm just going to talk really briefly today about how to combat aggressive players leading into the money stages and at final tables of major tournaments if you're lucky enough to find yourself in that situation. All you need to do is pick up a hand that plays well, heads up, and then you can attack, and he's probably not going to call you anyway. An example of this would be, this is your aggressive player or a professional who's raising and stealing almost every pot. You're just to his left, and it's folded around to the professional who's going to look down and see a hand like this. It's a beautiful hand for stealing. He's almost certainly 100% of the time going to come in for a standard steal. You pick your spot, and with these cards, all you need to do, that's a great time to go over the top. So all you need to do, push your chips in. It's so simple. The blinds are going to fold. It's going to come back around to the good player who is not going to want to put all his chips against you on a showdown. Most of the time he's going to have absolutely nothing, in which case he's just going to fold because that's not where his value comes from. You're going to pick up the entire pot. Keep doing that as often as you like against strong aggressive players because they are not going to want to see showdowns with you. That's it.
And Nadia is the new dealer, and she's dealt Mark Vronsky a King 10, which he folds. Russ has pocket 10s. He'll raise it up. Losev folds. Ooh, and Sergei Fedosov has come up with pocket jacks. Peter Vlasenko could be looking at a lot of trouble right now. Let's see how Feklisov plays it. Sergei Feklisov holding a pair of pocket jacks.